Give you all a couple of weeks to pretty much just figure your shit out because I mean we've got Matt Gilliam to thank for it anyway, to be fair. It made me realise that maybe people aren't backtesting or maybe don't know how to backtest. So with what I was gonna do, I did message a couple of people, but I was gonna message more and basically say that show me the last five backtest results that you've done, whatever, and you know, I ended up asking three people. Two said they hadn't got any, and the person that did say they've got it was Tom, who's the only other person making money, it seems. So it makes sense. Um, so what I figured I would do is start off by I'll pick a chart at random. Um, so what I do, obviously, now that I know my rules and things like that, obviously, I can open a chart and basically just go, yes, I think the setup's played out, so around there. I'll then mark it up and then obviously bar replay it to make sure that I would obviously pick the right zones and things like that from a blank chart with obviously the rules that I know that I've got in place. So obviously, it takes some form of experience to just obviously look at a chart and go, yeah, I think that's played out there whatever reason, then go market. But so it's not obviously for the newer guys, but it's who the fuck is that trying to get in? But obviously the previous lives and all the previous education and things like that are there, so you should be able to come on the chat and almost learn to play out what obviously I was doing. So I'll not pester you all about back testing as such today. I'll show you, and then obviously if in a couple of weeks I ask you and you haven't done it, then I'll lay into you basically. So uh, pick a random chat. Obviously, is there any questions? Chip in, um, distract me, whatever. What should we go for?
Hey, all, how you doing? Happy New Year to everybody.
Oh, it's you, is it, Matt? It
Yeah,
comes
it's
up with like a
Rowan.
load of question marks and F's and C's and
Oh,
Japanese writing on your name.
don't know why that is. I'm not at home. I'm away from home, but I don't know why that is. God knows.
So this is this has probably been a play out. Did you catch all the beginning, Matt, by the way?
No.
So obviously,
No.
basically, I'm just what I used to do on Saturdays, not so much now, but most Saturdays I used to obviously go get a coffee, look at over all the charts, and basically see what's played out, what hasn't, what's see if obviously I could find a setup, make it play out, see if it fits the rules, things like that, and then obviously bar replay it. And obviously from that you can then obviously you can journal, you can add and add rules in if you start seeing the same thing, blah blah blah. But another reason is why didn't you see it? And then obviously going forward, you can be more organized or whatever, or involved or whatever, and to obviously help you catch the setups in the future as such. So
Yeah, thanks. I get it.
yeah, so
I've been
obviously,
doing this recently. I've just started doing this. I realise it's more
yeah.
than a
Well,
week.
before you joined, obviously, I told them all that. Obviously, I spoke to you about this it in the week, early in the week, midweek, whatever it was. So that's what's
Yeah.
brought this sort of on. So I think this is possibly played out from in here. You guys might not see it, but if we look at it, I will obviously there's it's not from up here, but obviously this is structure. This will be structured. I think the playout's from lower, from round here somewhere. So what I would do, obviously, if it was a Saturday morning, I was sat having a coffee. Um, we've got a blank chart, so I think we've got a 15-minute structure going on here. Obviously, we get a break to the upside above this, and then obviously it does its thing up here. This has obviously gone, possibly played out. There's a move, there's a sell down. because the previous 15, obviously, turned bearish there. We've had a couple of swings, obviously, up to there. I'll draw out. Now, I have no idea if this has played out or not, but I think it looks like it might have. So we've got obviously a low put in, a lower high to that one there, and then we possibly have a low there, and then a high there, and then we'll possibly have to make a new low. So why do I think this? Is because we possibly get a couple of breaks of structure in here. So this is a possible couple of 1 minute swings up here. Obviously, 1 minute's obviously how I say it. I say it as 1 minute confirms the 15, lower time frame confirms the time frame above as such. So if we come in closer to that, turn that orange so you know it's the time frame it is. Right, so obviously you can see there's a lower time frame bearish structure here. We get a little lower time frame break here, and then we get a couple of swings. So possible 15-minute pullback here. So from there, what we can do is we can find the confirmations. So we've got 15-minute low across here. 15-minute. Obviously gets broken here. Start new. Bit broken there, I think. Yeah, it gets broken there with that candle there. So, bar replay from there. So, why? Obviously, if we was looking at this live, obviously, alls at the minute we've got the previous low in a bearish structure. So that's kind of only marking you need. And so if we like to imagine it's live from here, ideal. So what do we think's from there we can go and do from there? So what we can do is obviously it is a crappy. So we're on the 5 minute at the minute. Obviously you can pick 1 minute if you really want to, but we're just trying to gauge a area where we think it's going to react from anyway. So decent pushes. So we've got obviously good imbalances around here. Imbalance, where's imbalance? We've got a wick up here, obviously a bit of BPR and a decent push away there as well. So a couple of imbalances we may want to fill. Obviously, we're only on the 5 minute. I'm not going to prat around with the lower time frame sort of stuff, but we can maybe think that we can make confirmations as to go. I like this one up here. This wick takes out some liquidity. There's all these highs here. We may have a trend line of sorts. Not perfect. Yeah, that works. So 3 touches trend line. So there's a build up of liquidity here. Uh, call it equal highs. Obviously, there's 3 touches, but you get the gist. Then there's a sweep of liquidity, and it's not very high in the 15-minute structure, but it's maybe high enough. Obviously, there's a build up of liquidity anyway. There's a sweep, and then there's a break to the downside, and it eventually leads to obviously the 15-minute low being taken. So anticipate obviously you maybe as long as it doesn't tap into anything lower that you maybe think, well, that's going to cause a new all-time high or something, we would still assume continuations to the downside, unless obviously, like I say, there's structures that we don't like lower. So If there's imbalance in here, we're anticipating it's going to fill it. So all we're doing at this point, we are going to mark a 15-minute point of interest. Yeah. Obviously, if it was live scenario, you would set an alert at the bottom of the box, and then you can just go about your day. Yeah. So all it's done here, taken the low, we've then just found a bit of imbalance we like. We've found some liquidity and some manipulation, if you want to call it that, or liquidity sweep basically, and drawn a box around it. I'm going to speed up because I'm assuming that's where it taps into the zone. So I'm just going to Barry play pretty close. Come back on the 15. There's no questions, right? Is there? No. Oh, fuck off. Barry play. Let's get one candle in. Right, so your relate's gone off, you've opened the screen. This is now where we're at. Just going to delete that structure just to, yeah, filled the box. All the previous confirmations done. We are just waiting for a 1 minute break to the downside as a confirmation as to whether we should find an entry or not. So this is the current low. So I'll just draw the structure leading up to it for what I believe it is. So we've got low pullback, low break to the upside, low, high, low, high. Right, so that's the lower time frame leading up to the point of interest.
Lee, could you just show me how you mark the POI, please? Because I'm
What?
marking
How I
it in the
marked it?
chat.
Sorry.
Yeah, just show me the top and bottom of the POI, how you picked it. Thanks.
Yeah, it's literally the wick high, mate, and
Oh,
then
it's just that.
start
It's
of the
literally that
imbalance. Yeah,
that 15-minute candle, the
yeah.
vapor
There's
high.
a yeah. It's
Yeah.
just the it's on the 5 minute to be fair, mate. But
Oh, sorry, I'm
obviously you
on
can.
15. That's what I was
I
doing.
don't know what it's like on the 15. I didn't actually check, but
Not much different.
yeah, it's all
Oh no,
wick. So,
it's about half the size. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So obviously,
Cool.
what I would sort of say, what I would always say is if you're trying to mark a point of interest on the time frame that you're supposed to be on, so obviously this could be marked there because this is where the imbalance on the 15 starts, but obviously that's quite a big zone. So then you can, like I say, you can
Yeah.
just drop a time frame, try and get it a
Yeah.
bit tighter. We got that if you just marked on the 15, that touch would have tapped you in. I mean, there's probably a trade from it as it looks. So obviously it breaks
Yeah.
this low here as it taps in, pulls back, pulls into something. But I mean, yeah, there's no wrong with that as such. It's the
No, that's
same,
cool. No, I just wanted to see how you
Obviously, there's
actually.
different ways of skinning a cat, but what
Yeah.
I'm trying to do is um catch the bigger move as such. Although that
Yeah.
has done one, it's doing the same thing anyway. um, so yeah, drop it down to a lower, basically just a lower time frame, mate, so you can see some imbalance. Um, so from there, obviously place. I'm going to slow it down because it fucked up last time. We're basically just waiting for another confirmation to say that.
Change your character there. Yeah. That's what we
Change the
want.
character, turn it there. So it was basically as soon as it breaks that low, yeah, I'm happy with that. Maybe that one at a push as well. If you want to be really, if you wanted to be really cautious, but that this meets the rules. So let's play. Test
No.
it.
Robbed.
Test. Well, well, yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
There you go. This is probably a good sign, though. Anyway, the fact that it tests it, reacts obviously, and then obviously eventually takes it. I think that's took it anyway. Yeah, it does. Eventually takes it. So this is maybe confirmation that this is the actual low that we are looking to be taken because it gets a reaction and then goes and takes it. So from there, we've had obviously the 15 minutes in our direction. The reasons for obviously we've covered over liquidity build up, liquidity taken. It's taken a 15-minute low. We're still expecting a new 15-minute low to come after this. We've come up to the point of interest. We have then hit something, obviously hit the POI, probably filled an imbalance on a lower time frame. It's definitely done it on the 5, obviously. And then we have now given another 1 minute break to the downside. So an even lower time frame signal that we are possibly going to then turn lower and then obviously do the 15-minute low. I'm not sure if it's done it or yeah, I didn't actually pay that much attention. Um, so from here, I'm jumping straight to 10 second and trying to find an entry basically. Obviously, it makes ideally because it's we're looking at cells, we would come start at the top and work our way down, but obviously you won't be looking for entries in all this price action here when this has filled it already. So at the point in where the candle breaks the low, that's the point when ideally you'd be looking for an entry. So if this pulls back in, I don't know, just halfway up this leg here, that technically might be the entry that's already played out, but we would say the higher the better. So ideally start at the top, but you're going to need to draw lines across. So like I say, you're not going to want to look in all this price action for an entry when this is already dead because this was filled up or the breaker structure. So make it move in. There we go. So all I'm going to do is just mark some imbalances. Well, I'm going to mark some order blocks that create imbalance. So just wait through all this. I'm going to mark that because I want to check that on a lower time frame. Turn it blue, so go back to it. Now, I'm not actually going to worry too much about the actual entry. I'm just going to mark a few zones and basically say that one of these is possibly the entry. um, that's the high. It's filled there. I'm just going to check this one on the lower because a big push up, steadier push down, but there might be some hidden sort of imbalance in there, although it's practically filled, I think. Who knows? I don't know.
Tricky.
Don't know.
I don't.
Yeah,
Not one of these is a standout to me.
no, no. Like I say, I just marked a decent push aways on the 10 second, mate. So,
Yeah.
like I say, I don't want to get bogged down in the actual entry as such. I'm assuming it's maybe going to tap one of these zones. It might still be live. I don't actually know, but it's more the process and because obviously the entries, as I've always said, like the entries are all, the only thing that are almost not mechanical in a way. Like the entry zone's always questionable, so I don't want to get bogged down in the questionable because I'm trying to show you what I think you should all be doing at least once a month, maybe twice a month. Just going flicking through a charts and going, yes, I think this is played out, that's played out, and obviously then building from that and going, how can I spot this live? Because obviously that's a big stage of trading as well, is you sort of like know the system, but
Mm.
a lot of people get, I mean, I definitely did. I felt like I was in that sort of middle zone where I knew what I was doing, just wasn't catching anything. I mean, I felt like I was in there for about a year nearly, so
How did you get out of it?
kept working, mate, kept doing this.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like, 'cause obviously I mean, this was obviously it's a blank chart to start with, apart from
just a
previous
project. Yeah,
old structures,
yeah,
so, but them old structures was on
yeah.
my screen anyway, so there's no reason why I shouldn't have caught this. It's just I haven't looked at it, so, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're about the zones I would probably mark anyway, as we see, and I believe one of these boxes will possibly or probably be an entry. So, but no guarantees. I mean, that's trading. It could just be a loser, and it could have tapped something. I don't know. But hey ho, let's see. So it's tapped one zone and gone. The first one. I don't know if it comes back or not. Speed it up because we can just catch up to present day. Taps it again, same zone. That's why we don't break even, because you'd be gay for that. Yeah, and that's up to where we are now. So possibly played out off this entry here. The first tapping obviously happened real quick. So it was create you'd have had, let me just, what, 20, 30 minutes to get in on this one. Second opportunity though. And that's maybe made equal highs as well. But from 1 minute break to tap in 50 minutes, and then the second chance at uh, nearly 2 days. Yeah. So that's pretty much what I'm doing or was doing every Saturday. I often do it in the week as well, the odd chat here and there. But that's basically what I think everybody should be doing to backtest as a minimum. This is just obviously it's already played out. I looked at it. I could see that I thought something had played out, and then you could do that blank screen. Obviously, we had the you could have you could have done it a bit easier. You could have marked all your markings out with the full thing on, but then just picked your entry at the end. Because obviously you should know the process. Obviously, if you're as long as you're not new. Yeah. So if I ask you guys in a couple of weeks, can you show me your next or your last five back tested charts? You should be able to send me a screenshot basically of this and go, this is what I've come up with. Because doing that, what we've just done as well, like I say, that's to me that's simple because obviously I know the process is it's cemented in. There was no reason, like I say, there was no reason why I couldn't have caught that, just other than just not looking. It's nothing wizardry, you know. The whole process was just in that last how long we've been on 25 minutes or whatever it's been. And then once you figure that out, it comes second nature. Like you could just start catching Bitcoin trades like this one that I'm about to show you all.
Can I just put in quickly?
Yeah, Cosmic, yeah, yeah,
I
please.
forget. I can't say which chart. I'll have to have a look. I'll post it after.
Yeah,
There was, I was looking at imbalance,
yeah,
10-second chart as we started at 10 seconds, marking it out. There wasn't, there was a few, and then I missed one on the 10 second. On the
yeah,
5 second, it stood out like a sore thumb. But then I
yeah,
went back
yeah,
to 10, and it was like, well, that's fuck
yeah,
all. Now I was like, well, if it's not there on the 10, how's it there on the 5? But if it's there on the 5, does that count? I was a
Yes,
bit, it does, yeah.
it counts more.
I was
So
confused because I was like, I couldn't see it on the 10. I went back, I was like, oh, I must have missed that. I was like, oh, no, it's don't
yeah,
even look like anything. But on the 5, it was like,
yeah,
oh, yeah, no, it is. And I was just a bit like, oh, I don't know.
yeah. So what I often say is the lower the time frame, the closer to real imbalance you are. So
Yeah,
an imbalance to be created on, say, like the 4 hours, relatively easy. Price doesn't actually have to move fast to create a 4 hour imbalance. It just has to go in an overall direction for a long period each of time. But if you get a 5 second candle that moves, say, 2 pips, obviously in that 5 second, like that's a huge injection of money. So yes, more so the five if over the 10. Now I don't always like to just go down to the 5 and the 1 second because the chart gets a bit gappy and
yeah,
voidy, it becomes sometimes a bit unreadable, but like that's why I sort of stick to 10 because the 10's always about okay. But
yeah,
like I say, if it's on the 5 and it's not on the 10, it's still there. You just
yeah.
couldn't see it on the 10.
So I started on the 10 and I just thought, oh, I started down myself. I was like, oh, well, I don't know now. Because I've always
Yeah.
worked down, like you
Yeah.
just said. And then now I'm like,
Yeah. So yeah, if it's there on the 5 and 10, mate, it's there technically. It's just obviously moving the market so much in a shorter space of time. That's the signal that there was an injection of money into the market because,
yeah,
like I say, if like moving the market that much on the 4 hour, if it's a couple of pips, it's easy sort of thing, you know. But
yeah,
10, 15, 1 second, it's not natural. So yeah,
cool.
yeah, no, we might.
That's fine.
Just going to
Cheers,
draw
mate.
this on here just so you can sort of see roughly the risk to reward that was possible on it. So that was a 7 pipette zone. Would be at least two on bit on this one, I'm guessing. It's fucking massive stop loss now.
Huge.
Massive. Not worth our time. Yeah, and it's not been long since it tapped in, to be fair. You got 12 out of it, you know. Do us all
How
for
would
the
you
week.
how, how would you pick the take profit early?
I've just marked the maximum, mate. I would
Oh, cool.
assume,
Okay, that's fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's making a new low as well, which it has done. So it would have
Okay.
been,
Yeah.
yeah, it would have been about there. And then obviously I'd
Yeah.
check further below this to see what's
Yeah. Sure.
it's
Hmm.
coming into. I'll have a
Yeah.
look.
Cool. If you played perfectly, it was 10 hour. Great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming it's coming in to fill this, whatever this is. If it doesn't come back higher in between, so I'll say it's gonna be at least into that, mate. But you never know. 15. I mean, it's a slow
Yeah,
moving pair, so it's a bit shitty anyway. To be
Yeah.
fair, um,
Still going, might go lower.
yeah. I mean, it's overall bit bullish, obviously, as we'd see, and this is possibly somewhere in a 4 hour low area, so we might get a full reversal from around here to a new high, maybe. It's
Yeah.
possible. So yeah, TP would be just a bit further than where it is now, to be honest, I think, mate. It might go more, but I think with the bullish structure overall, I think we're 15-minute pull. I think we're 4 hour pulling back is because obviously if we've had 3 or 4 swings with the 15. Where are we over here? Yeah, one swing, two swing, three swing, possible fourth swing that we've just gone over. So yeah, it's obviously the 4 15-minute swings would make a 4 hour leg, and if the 4 hours overall bullish, so yeah, we could be it'd be risky beyond that, I would say. Obviously, it might free fall, but with what we know, this is the safest area for a take profit somewhere in this. And if you make a fucking rich and don't care, then obviously you can hold it to further down if you really want to. But I mean, I was looking for it to come lower at some point, mate, so it might. But
Yeah, I think we talked about it a few weeks ago, didn't
yeah, yeah,
we?
yeah. I mean, it's a
Yeah, I've
huge
got
move if it does.
yeah, I got mock up on actually. I can see it now. Yeah.
Wheat. Um, right. What I'll do is I'm going to. I don't even want to talk about Bitcoin because I'm fucking sick of looking at it, to be fair. Did the whole backtesting thing make sense, by the way? No one's actually set out.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Are we going to start doing it? Are you all actually doing it? Is a good question, I guess.
I will put my hands up and say no.
Yeah, I thought as
Yeah,
much.
since we talked about it a few days ago, and I
Yeah,
Yeah.
I felt your visible disappointment through the keyboard.
Well, yeah. When you said it, I was like, maybe it's my fault. Maybe it's just like
Not it's
you
not your
just
fault, Luke.
assume that everybody can just do what I assume everybody's doing or knows how to backtest. But when you think about it, like everyone comes into it not knowing anything, and yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, I'm fairly new to the whole trading side of things, so for me, it is very foreign at the moment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, obviously, I'll upload this tonight, mate. And if it's this that you stick with, obviously, I've just shown you how I backtest, and then obviously you would input the data into like a spreadsheet, and you put all the trades in, and then from the data that you collect, like that one we just covered was what it's currently at 12 hour. I think it's going to go 15 at least. Um, and then also, let's say, for example, you have 10 trades and some go 20 hour, some go 10. You can add all them together and basically say like your average TP should maybe be 15 overall. It might mean you get a couple more losers, but you get more reward for the ones you do take, sort of thing. And yeah, it's but obviously you're only gonna hear about like these 15-hour trades on this live and in my section. So everyone else is going for like one to twos and things because the pussies basically. So um so yeah, only five past. I mean, should we have a gander at this, see if we can make some sense of this one? Bothered? Right. Let's have a quick look at this because this is maybe played out also. I'm not sure where this one's overall going because of this big push down here, but there's me and Luke was looking at this a sell from here the other week on a Wednesday, Tuesday, wasn't it? Yeah, we missed it by a couple of hours.
yeah.
So there's a possibility that this is going to sell off big time. Eventually make a cut. Obviously, there's a 4 hour down push over here. It's pulled back. It started breaking lows down here. It's possibly come back to mitigate something before it continues its overall sell. But it also might still go higher. We don't know. We are currently let me just highlight this one more so you can see. So obviously my prediction was originally before all this comeback for up here was continuation to the downside. But what it has done is it's made a
I've got
15
like
minute.
this. I've got that as a POI. Your June high there, early June. So I've got the recent highs basically tapping a POI there.
Yeah,
So I've got maybe a sell coming up
yeah, yeah, I can believe it, mate.
off that
It,
off that. exactly there, yeah, where you just tapped.
Yeah, so what I'll zoom in so you can see a bit better and I'll tell you my thinking. I'm not 100% sure on it myself. It's
Yeah,
there's a couple of options obviously. Move left. So what my thinking was when we was talking with Luke, we've got this bullish structure up to here. So there's a possible break. This sort of like little lows here is the first break of the 15-minute here. So
yeah,
technically, obviously the 15-minute POI is here. It gets tapped in, does a 1 minute break, which is why I thought, which is why the entry's over here, possibly over here. Yeah, because it's it's left, broken 15, come back, tapped in, then done a one. There's also
yeah,
possibility that that's not the actual 15-minute break. And if it's say this one here, this where I said that it does the 1 minute from is also should also become part of the 15-minute point of interest, if that makes sense. Because that might be the low here that it was actually wanting to break, where it does it here. So rather than the POI starting from here, it would be from that high, come down, the high here to this sort of like area here.
yeah,
So you are well within your rights to go. Yeah, it's tapped to the point of interest, filled in imbalance, obviously, and you want it to come back to tag an entry.
yeah.
Um,
I haven't marked
is
up that. I'm going to put a little thing on that. But I've got it all, and I've got us in. We're in the top 25% of that
yeah,
bigger zone as well.
yeah, yeah. I mean, if the overall direction is bearish, then definitely
Yeah,
around about here, or even maybe a touch higher. I mean, I had when I was looking at this like months ago. Obviously, I've got these entry zones that haven't been tagged. That doesn't mean that that's what it's coming for. It's just,
man,
you know,
it's been going down the
and
last 10 years.
yeah, yeah. Um, but like obviously, what I actually saw is we've possibly got a buy scenario going on as well. So we've got obviously an old structure. So we make a high, we make a low at this point here. This is just another. Obviously, all I'm doing here is another back testing thing to see if we can spot a trade. I think it's played out, but we will see. So breaks it here. Bar replay. Breaks it there. So technically, we would from here. Obviously, I'd say we would make a 15-minute point of interest. Don't really see much imbalance in there. Let's go on 15. Maybe that's spread hour. So that's spread hour. That don't count. So all I'm doing is looking for the some imbalance in all this. This is just marking a point of interest at the minute. There's nothing. This is fucking shit. This can't be the first imbalance. Just gonna delete this as well, so I can see. I'm not being daft, am I? Spread hour. Imbalance filled already. Filled. These wicks. Maybe these wicks. This might not be one for today for this, to be fair. see. This might come lower. This might be a bit of a hard one to mark up, but let's see, let's see, let's see. Obviously, this is where it broke. I'm not seeing much imbalance below here on the 15. Obviously, we could drop to the 5, but there you go. Technically, the zone should be down here and include all this, but oh, fucking slow down, slow down, slow down. Definitely should have deleted these old markings. I'm gonna leave that there because that's one I took. So I'm just gonna leave that there. I might put this one down to bad job with my markings being there. Yeah, I'll cancel that for another trade quick. I'll cover one. I'll cover oil.
Got a backs trade in place soon, actually.
What you have?
Should have. Well, should have. Operative word, maybe.
Stewart's in one, isn't he? Yeah.
Pending.
I think he got tagged in though. Did you? Are you in it or?
No, I didn't get tagged. I'm not tagged in yet.
Yeah, I think Stewart got tagged in.
No, I'm not in it. It's close, which worries me because obviously when it opens, so
Yeah. Well, I mean, it'll when it opens, as long as it doesn't tag your zone, your entry zone, you'll be fine. Obviously, if it skips over it, then it's just null and void. It doesn't obviously it doesn't do anything. Price actually has to pass through your thingy line, but obviously, I mean, I would maybe just cancel it just to be safe for the market open because if spreads are like 20, 30 pips or what, I don't know what they are on market open on DAX, but if it's 30 pips, but you've got like a 5 pip stop loss, if it passes through and tags in, you'll instantly be like sixfold over your risk.
yeah, I've got two entries open on there at split risk
Mm.
because I couldn't decide.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll take a look at him in a minute. I'll just talk about this again. The FVG chat. When basically similar sort of same confirmations, 15-minute low. So obviously we're downtrending, 15-minute structure, pull back, new 15-minute low. We pull back into something. Yeah, so we offer a couple of imbalances. This this one here specifically also takes the 1 minute structure low that then leads to the 15-minute being broken. So I've got the both lows marked, both structures drawn. You see the 1 minute here, 15 minutes, the bigger one. I think let's look on a 5 and just delete that a minute. Come on. There we go. Terrible on the 5. What's the max on the 15? Yeah, big push away here. Yeah, big push. Marked from the wick high, obviously to start the imbalance. Obviously, I've come on a touch higher because there's a bit of an order block there. And then basically, obviously, it's done its things. It would have done it did its breaks before I marked the zone. Obviously, I marked it on its way back up. So obviously, once it broke the 15 and then it starts trending upwards, it's time to start thinking about what's it going to tap into to maybe continue to the downside. Yeah, hopefully, I'm assuming it's done. It just shy my entry. I'll show you in a minute. But as you can see, tags the zone, doesn't break the first initial low. Yeah, I don't like these little. Yes, it's not much of a pullback, so I won't count that. Eventually pulls back, takes the high again. Obviously, if you'd have counted that as a high, pulls back, takes high again, and then takes the low. So changes character here. Is replay. So from the point it does a change of character. Now, obviously, this might still go higher. I think the move's done. Okay, pending is cancelled anyway. So I can't see much there. I think I'm on the 15 actually. Was it Faye? I marked it for a reason. Yeah, I marked this. I obviously because you slower pairs, sometimes you have to go up a time frame to be able to see some imbalance as well. Obviously, I know I say the lower the time frame, the truer the imbalance. But if you can't see any, then I say to go up to be able to see the imbalance. So I thought I was being safe with this as well. So obviously, a bit of imbalance there. Obviously, it changes the time and then continues to push down. I think on the time frame was it? I think it maybe taps into this. Think yeah, I should have done this. I think this is the actual entry there. I think that's the imbalance it comes for. So should have entry should have maybe been there instead. It's tiny. It's tiny, but I thought that was enough. Um, yeah. See.
I see.
So that this is the. I'll turn the one I marked blue. Lowest point. They're about the same, aren't they? Fucking idiot. Orange. So the one I had was orange. Obviously hindsight, obviously there's that tiny little imbalance. I don't think even if I'd have seen that, to be fair, live, I don't think I'd have trusted it as such. Maybe I'd have made me entry bigger, kept the same stop loss. I don't know, but I think that was the move anyway. Um, Pretty much identical to the Euro GBP we covered. Same rules, just didn't catch this one. So probably triggered at the same sort of time. Um,
Might
I'm
come back.
gonna,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, it might still come back, mate. I think it's done. Obviously, with hindsight and looking at obviously the candles in and around it a bit, it makes sense that it's played out. I don't think it'll come higher. Like I
Yeah,
say, the one I marked it off was the 30-second, and it's only because I
yeah,
think it's played out now, which is why I think the lower, like, was it a 10-second little? It's only a little candle. I'm not sure you'd class it as
yeah.
an imbalance in a live
I agree.
situation as such.
Agree. It's not
So yeah,
obvious to
no,
me. I'm
no, no,
I'm
no,
looking at it. It's not obvious to me. Yeah,
no, 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 definitely not. Yeah, but yeah, it's the hindsight in it that makes it
yeah.
seem more clear. So it's
That's
just
why
one
I
of them.
thought maybe. Yeah, that's why I thought maybe it'd come back. But yeah,
Yeah,
structures. think so. Wait, then that's fair.
Yeah, it's
There's that tiny, tiny little bit, 1058 as well. That's not tapped. The very top of your entry,
yeah.
the earlier bit, has still got a couple of pips there. It's not tapped.
This is oil though. It's a fucking nightmare at times.
Yeah, but you get some bang on it as well, don't
Yeah, this
you?
is the thing. It's sometimes it's fantastic, and then others it's just wants to have your pants down. Yes, like I said, I went there. This here is
Yeah.
maybe even half into that. I
Uh,
think, but yeah, it's like I said, I was definitely not interested in anything above that. I think that's the what's tapped into obviously the POI. I don't know if it needs to come higher still overall, maybe. Um,
yeah, you could argue there's still a tiny bit of imbalance there at the very top of your screen there, but it's minuscule.
yeah,
It's a cent. I think a cent is a bit.
yeah. I mean, nothing looks appealing here at all.
That's some Morse
As
code, isn't
a
it?
point of yeah, as a point of interest, like this is, I definitely didn't check this on the lower time frame. Cool. Maybe that looks a bit of interest, but yeah, I mean, as a point of interest, that looks fucking diabolical. So, but this is what oils are like. 'Cause sometimes it's really fucking nice, sometimes it's diabolical. Might still come higher overall, but obviously the reasons for the point of interest was why I went with that area. We might let's check on the five, see if there's any decent looking imbalances to fill still. Now, obviously, we don't believe there's 5 minute imbalance as such, but it's a kind of a good a good time frame as an indication as such. So I mean, it might come for up here. I guess there's something here maybe BPR as well, but not great, is it? You know, it's not, it's, it's not like this push down
No,
here. So obviously that
crappy, isn't it?
yeah, it's like I say, I think the move's played out and gone. I'm pretty sure it's the same, about the same time as what your GBP move that we just marked up was as well. So, I mean, there's a good chance that obviously all multiple pairs and currencies and indices are all going to actually start shifting at the same time anyway, because they're all linked in some sort of way out there. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's played out. But again, the important thing is it's the same rules, same reasonings. There's nothing, there's no Houdini involved. It's very doable.
yeah,
Would have been nice to have caught it. What would it have been if would have picked the right zone? So right zone would have been 15. Similar to your GBP as well, with the distance it's gone. You know, and the structure on oil, it's just taken a major low with that there. So, but it's not, it's just taken it. So I was sort of thinking buys on UK oil, because there was a 415 set up. It still might play out, but I'm not too convinced now. Um, but obviously this downwards, the 4 hours bearish, Obviously, you can see drawings, the red lines. Yeah, bearish structure going on. Taken just pipped past the previous 4 hour low. Obviously, some it's caused a pullback basically, but it hasn't taken any major structure. So it's shown signs of bearishness again before it's taken a significant high. Obviously, broken above here. I'm definitely looking for big buys. Ellen's joining. So yeah, if it had taken major highs, then yeah, I'd be looking at buys. But I think it's going to come. I think because it's pipped the low, it's just triggered orders maybe, or triggered stop losses, whatever like that. It's just causing an initial pullback, and then obviously it's just going to continue lower. So possibly get something like that at least, especially if that's the 15-minute pullback and then a continuation as well. So we'll get maybe another swing or two. So hopefully our oil will get cheaper. Petrol won't, but
Not for you, not for us.
no, nothing. Yes, we're gonna. I think we spoke about this a while ago, actually. I think we're going to come down to at least into this sort of order block area, which would take us to a 36.40-ish. It might even come lower still. Stuff in all this, bits of imbalance and things. Possible liquidity, sweep, break. So we might be coming a chunk lower yet. We'll see at market open, obviously, with the America-Venezuela thing going on. But it always seems to line up with a trade as well. But
Beauty of it.
yeah, absolutely. Right, I'm going to call it there. Unless there's any questions.
Thanks, Lee.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
All
Cheers,
good.
Look like I'm
guys.
in a sauna.
I'll...
I'm
Right, I'll
not.
see
I'm
you all
not lying
later.
down in the sauna. See ya. Thanks, guys.
Cheers. Bye.